Before we get,
I have to look my upload to YouTube, and I have to make a little bit food, but I have to look my uploads to YouTube. So I just start this video.
On what's in the ship development pipeline, who's working on
Watch
what,
a little bit
providing
of this.
interviews with developers, and occasionally review a brand new ship being added to Star Citizen's pantheon of spaceships. I'm your host, content manager Jared Huckabee. Now, behind me, you see the ship pipeline. That's the ever-evolving, continuously refined network of phases, milestones, and review checks necessary to ensure you the best possible spaceship for your Star Citizen experience. And it's been a while since we've given the full rundown on what's being worked on and where. So let's get things started and jump right into things, shall we? With the recent release of Star Citizen Alpha 3.2 to our live environment, a new wave of ships have begun their journeys through the pipeline. It's with that news that I'm pleased to report that the Origin 300 series, stalwart of the original Kickstarter
Yes, my uploading is still running.
Is currently sitting in the earliest stages of white box phase, where it's not alone. Keeping it company is the Banning Defender and the luxurious 890 Jump. Now, on last week,
I think this is the ship they're talking about. There's some medical ship. Yes, this one, Apollo Triage Support Medical. I don't know, but we have a look. Yes, that's the Apollo and Medical gameplay.
TV, Chris gave you a few moments sneak peek of the early white box for the 890 Jump, but I think we can do better. Here's a further look at work being done to flesh out the interior layouts for this massive luxury yacht. Now, white box phase is as crucial a phase as any in the development of a ship, as it will form the basis of everything that comes afterward.
Oh yes, I have to add it to my playlist, of course. Yes, I have to add all if my computer crash or something. But I'm not recording everything. But I will watch all this ship's commercial when I'm not recording the videos. Because it's my camcorders cover my screen. It's cover my view, and my laptop is far like 1.2 meters away. I'm not recording this 1 hour, I'm not recording it all.
To determine the foundation of a ship's interior layout, and can go through dozens of iterations before moving into gray box phase. What you're seeing here is just one such iteration of the 890 Jump white box. And while it is yet to be determined if this layout will be the one that gets the green light, we thought it'd be fun to highlight this early, very malleable stage of a ship's overall development for you. Plus, I know how long you've been waiting for this. Now, you can expect additional updates in the months ahead as we move towards its intended release into the Star Citizen universe in the upcoming Alpha 3.5, currently scheduled for Q1 2019. Moving along to gray box phase, we have another announcement I'm very pleased to make. You think I'm gonna miss this opportunity to give you the max update on another fan favorite ship? Durr. You know I wouldn't. Yes, Virginia, it's true. The ship team in the UK have begun their work on the Freelancer variants, which, because of the head start the already flyable Freelancer base model gives them, are beginning their journey ahead of white box and already well into the gray box modeling phase. Yes, it's an exciting time to be a Freelancer owner, and we'll be following the development of these ships throughout their intended journey towards release in Alpha 3.4 towards the end of this year. Now, following ahead to the final art phase, we got a couple ships like the F8 Lightning, which is currently holding as it waits for resources in other disciplines to continue its journey. The Mustang variants, which have moved back from the technical disciplines to the final modeling and surface tweak stage as the team in our Los Angeles studio addresses recent feedback from Chris. The Hammerhead, which takes its place moving ahead into the technical disciplines where it will reside for quite some time as teams work to bring functionality to all their fantastic art. And then the 600i Turing variant, which is waiting for tech setup resources to become available. It's a busy time for our ship pipeline as 3.3, 3.4, and even 3.5 ships continue their journeys towards a full and complete realization into the Star Citizen universe. But what's next? Even a game of Star Citizen's breadth and scope still needs additional ships to flesh out its various gameplay systems and professions. And one of those that's captured the imagination of backers since the introductions of the Cutlass Red and Endeavor Hope is that of assisting your fellow player when personal injury strikes your character. Yes, medical gameplay and its design is ready to step back into the spotlight this month with the addition of our next concept ship to Star Citizen. Let's go to the ship teams in our Foundry 42 UK studio and let them introduce us to the brand new Apollo medical ship from Roberts Space Industries.
The RSI Apollo is a new medical ship. It's from RSI, which didn't get a new ship in a long while. We have two medical ships at the moment announced in the game, which is the Cutlass Red, which is basically the ambulance in our game, and the Endeavor with its hospital module, which is really massive and really endgame. So we needed something in between.
We had quite a short timeline on this one for a medium ship, so really early on I did a quick sketch of the interior, passed it to a concept artist and was like something like this, and it kind of stuck basically. And it works well with RSI styling. The ship still has its flow, it's still quite sleek and sexy, but it's got all that angularness to it. It's like a Lamborghini, turn it into a spaceship.
The RSI Apollo is basically like a small clinic that you can go to the edge of space. This has a capacity of 6 patients with 6 beds, a crew of 2 at the front with 2 ejection beds. And it has a size 2 turret on the top of the ship at the rear, which is more a point defense turret rather than something made for dogfights or anything. And this is a remote turret. It has also 28 SCU of cargo at the back.
And then you've got medical bay space. It's always that sort of fine line between sort of reality sci-fi and gameplay. So it's, okay, we need to basically spawn a player here, but we don't want him popping in. So the player will be delivered, there's a glass cover on top, sort of protecting the player. The thought process is that we'll have essentially like an opaque glass when there's nobody in it, and then you'll hear noises and probably lights will come on, and the bed will activate, and then the person will arrive. The glass turns transparent, and you're like, okay, that the bed's occupied. At least that's how we've developed it at the moment. It's kind of like a self-healing unit, so we'll have it scans the person, finds out what's wrong with them, heals them, and then it opens up and off they go. And so with this ship, you'll be able to pick up people, fix people up, shove them back out the door, so it can be, obviously there'll be medical gameplay.
That we plan is, even if regular ships can do something with medical gameplay, like a player could help other people in the future, you will need medical ships if you want really to pursue the medical career in the game.
The final result I'm really happy with, and it's just sort of going through it basically, and so that's just been a process of refinement, just pushing.
Okay, that's not just a small ship. I thought it was just a one-man ship. That's a big one, like a hospital ship. Yes. I thought it was just for one. Apollo Medical. Cargo 28, max crew, 2 persons. Yes, I think you can only, but that's only for 1 person. But I don't know how the crew, if the crew is only two, can you only have two players on the ship, or four, or can you transport more? I don't know. That's like if you have a ship for 4 crew, if that is maximum 4 players it can carry, or you can have 20. I'm not sure, but this is not for sale.
Just tweak this. All the lines, generally, you generally try and avoid parallel.
So this is a big
We
ship.
worked out to do a good layout that will please every player and that is really aesthetically pleasing as well. So I think this is a really good ship, and this is bringing new kind of gameplay, so it looks good.
Do you know what? I kind of like playing the medic often. So, I'm not quite sure how this will turn out in our game, but I just want to see it. Just want to see it in game, and just and just want to see what players do with it. But I think I can't wait to see. It's not going to be like the red arrows, but you can just imagine, just a whole fleet of these guys just taking off and just going off, just rescuing people, or you can imagine just jumping in, massive space battle, debris everywhere, bodies just sort of floating about, and just all the drones just popping out, scooping up the people and popping them into the base of the ship. I think it could make for a very nice visual as well.
Now that's a good-looking spaceship. The RSI Apollo concept promotion begins today for all backers, and I encourage everyone not just to check the ship out, but the additional medical gameplay post going up on the robertspaceindustries.com website as well. And then stay tuned to Reverse the Verse for a live Q&A immediately following this broadcast, where we'll be talking to the designers and artists who work to bring this ship and medical gameplay to life. For ShipShape, I'm Content Manager for Global Video Production, Jared Huckabee. Thanks for watching. Hi, welcome to Reverse the Verse, Playing Doctor, the RSI Apollo, and medical gameplay. It's me, I was just in that video and now I'm back here. We're trying something different. We're playing, we said we'd play with our video stuff, we're playing with our video stuff. Joining us on the show this week, two of the folks you just saw in that video, Paul Jones and Cornton Billmont, joined by John Crew, no stranger to the RTV guest panel. How you guys doing?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, good.
Thanks.
Just to be clear, we're not playing doctor with each other's.
Yeah, there's no doctors in this. It's going on.
No,
here.
we're playing doctor with our backers. Sorry. All right, so it's one of those things. All right, so because every RTV is somebody's first, let's take a few moments and introduce who you are to the backers and what you do for Star Citizen, and we'll just go down the line. We'll start with Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul Jones, if you don't already know. I'm one of the art directors here at Foundry 42, part of Cloud Imperium Games. And I spend a large amount of time working on ship concepts, but also ship weapons and FPS weapons.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, John?
I'm good. I'm John Crew. I'm the Vehicle Pipeline Director, which is basically just the designer looking after all the ships from the very first ideas in people's heads to all the way out the door and post-release support and all the gameplay associated with them. Make sure they're all good and all the same.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, Torrington.
Hey, I'm Quentin Vimont. I'm a system designer working for John, basically setting up ships and working on other stuff to make the game better.
And you're the designer of note for the RSI Apollo.
Yeah. Other ships.
I'm sorry?
Worked for other ships that we've seen this year with Paul, like 100, Hercules, and ships like this. So.
That's right. Yeah. All right, so if you haven't figured it out yet for any reason, we are launching a brand new concept ship promotion today, the RSI Apollo. It's a new medium-sized medical ship. We've got a lot of questions, I'm certain. Yes. You guys can submit your questions live in one of two
from
places.
Twitch
either
July.
in the Twitch chat by prefacing your question with the word question in capital letters surrounded by brackets. You can also do the same in Spectrum, which is our bespoke communication platform on robertspaceindustries.com website. Same process.
Yes, but they will talk a lot. They will talk a lot, but this is a new video.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Calling All Devs, our weekly Q&A series where I take questions from you, the Star Citizen backer, and pose them directly to the developers. Joining us on the show this week, we go back to Calling All Devs All-Star Mr. Dan Truffin with a question about NPCs. Dan, how you doing, man?
Hey Jared, all good? You?
Yeah, I almost had something other than my normal phrase and I lost it. Let's just get right to it. I'm gonna tape little post-it notes with canned responses when people ask me how I'm doing because I'm like Spock in Star Trek 4. How do you feel? I don't know how to answer the question. All right, Jeez, let's try this again. Will my NPCs walk around on board, or does a turret gunner always sit in his tower? A doctor always stay in his medical practice? Chris once said that NPCs must eat and drink. Is this still the plan?
It's definitely still the plan. Each NPC will have a schedule. They will have a schedule that says when they're on duty, when they're not on duty, when they will practice at their turret. So let's take the turret example for a second. I am expecting a turret gunner to not spend all his time in a turret. He needs to eat, he needs to shower, he needs to sleep. He will go through his entire life cycle. He will have some exercise time where he's at the station. There will be, for example, if you have, let's say you have 6 turret gunners. There'll be, a few of them will always be at the station and they'll have a rotation. So one of them will sleep between these hours while the other is at the turret while the next one is eating and doing R&R stuff. Once the ship goes into combat, you will have all the guys switch schedule, and they'll switch to their combat schedule rather than their out of combat schedule. And as soon as they switch to combat schedule, whether
That's very cool. You can have NPC non-person players on your ship and actually walk around and have a life. I did not think it was like that. Yes, I did know they have NPC gunners if you have a large gunship. Yes, if you have a large so many ships, I don't know them. Corvette. That's for 14 crew, 14 human. This one, I don't know if you can use NPC. I don't know if you can fly this alone. Radar C, but I don't know that. Turrets, we have that. 444. Yes, but you cannot, that's in concept.
they were eating, being on the toilet or whatever, they will leave that.
Yes, I just try to learning about the game. I'm watching a lot of different videos. I just saw this game. That's just yes, Saturday morning, 5 in the morning. I did buy. That's actually I did first know about this game late Saturday evening. And this Monday, that's 48 hours ago, I learned I did not hear about this Star Citizen, the game, before 48 hours ago. It's 9:40. It's 7:40 p.m. So, and I have recording 15 hours video. So,
Run all the way to their turret and man the station.
Gotcha. Are you talking about
yes, I like to watch this. but I think I will go and just need 3 or 4 minutes
This question.
to I have to go in my kitchen to get a little bit bread. Food is 7:40 p.m. Yes, I will watch all. I lost the part 1 somehow, but in the part 1 I was talking Dennis. So, but I lost the part 1 somehow. I don't know. Somehow I was tired. Something. I did not delete it. I not delete my videos. I have watched the part 2 and 3, but I will watch. I don't know. This is part 45. This one, so that will take me many days. Yes, but I'll go to my kitchen and make a bit bread, and I have to look my uploads.
By brackets. That'll help our community management team pull the questions out from the chat. Right off the bat, I've got a couple questions for you guys just to get us started. My first question, right off, just the first thing that I thought of, why RSI? We haven't had a new RSI ship, if I remember correctly, since October of 2016. I mean, it's been a while. Why not just another Aegis ship? Why an RSI ship?
Well,
Who's going to answer that? That's not me.
So we were looking at obviously we know the breakdown of ships per manufacturer. We know what's out there, what we plan for, be it ones that we haven't concepted yet, but things like Kickstarter reward tiers, and ones that we've got in development. And RSI had not had one for a long time, and it sort of fitted the styling of it, really, where we in our heads where we were thinking to go with this ship, and it sort of just sat there. It didn't quite fit in with done a lot of Aegis ships. They're more military stuff. There can always be more, but at this time, not really. Anvil, again, very military. Drake has the Cutlass Red, which I'm sure we'll talk about during this. Misk's got the Endeavour, again, sort of medical gameplay. RSI starts being that big manufacturer that doesn't have something like this.
Yeah, there's been a concerted effort, at least from my vantage points, standing outside but adjacent to the vehicle pipeline here. There's been an effort I've seen this year to broaden the horizons quite a bit. We brought Consolidated Outland.
Yes, I go to my kitchen and
back
make
to the forefront. No, I'm sorry, Crusader. C words. We brought Crusader back to the forefront. We're bringing RSI. It's just really nice to see. So, I think if I'm allowed to speak for the community in that regard, I think it's a good thing, and I appreciate it. Now, Paul, since we don't have that many RSI ships, we've got the Constellation line, the Aurora line, the Orion, and the Polaris. How did you start when they gave you the brief and said this is RSI? Because it's not as developed as other manufacturers, where do you start on this?
That's a good question. I mean, for me, it was the Connie was the launching point, really. I think for me, the Connie is the one that's sort of most accessible in terms of relative size, or sort of size bracket. For me, it was sort of the signature ship, and it was just really sort of, obviously we'd worked on the Polaris previously, but Polaris is quite a bit bigger, and kind of just really wanted to sort of drive this back to the sort of basics of sort of those Connie shapes, and really once you function in the functionality of the ship, how you want to get in and out easily, the things you want it to do. Again, sometimes these things they start to shape themselves. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been I sort of really got to understand sort of the workings of Ryan Church's mind, I would say, because he was obviously the original concept artist. And without having a conversation with him, you really sort of have to figure out what's going on, and then you take your key components and transpose it onto the new ship. It's always, it's a little bit like cooking, isn't it? You've got your sort of base recipe, and then you sort of add in your chef's flair, and then hope everybody likes it at the end.
All right, so we referred to this as a medium-sized medical ship. For anybody that maybe hasn't read our shipyard series of articles from last year, either John or Corrington, walk us through what constitutes a medium-sized ship, and why did we decide that this ship was going to be medium instead of small or large or